everyone, it's Lisa, and today I'm going to do that MAC Get Ready With Me that we were talking about. So I would say 90% of the things that I used were MAC, some old, some new. I think everything I used is still available, and the only thing I didn't use is the foundation, and I will explain why. And so if you would like to get this look, then just keep on watching. So here we go. And I'm gonna take two, let's just do one pump of this YSL and just see how far we can get, because I want to use my Studio Fix powder over this. And this is just the best foundation. It spreads, but it still keeps its coverage. It's really unique. And so I'm going to, and that red right there is not a breakout. It's actually where the combination of my retinol and my glycolic is making my skin kind of peel off right there. And so I put the Colleen Rothschild recovery cream on this morning, and that always helps. And I put it on last night too. I didn't use any of those last night, but that's just how it goes. I just added some of the Laura Geller bronzer like to my chest and arms. But I used something yesterday. I tried something new. I tried the Bali Body Body Makeup. I'm always trying to just try new things. I really love the Vita Labrada and the Sally Hansen. I don't see how you can, beat those. But I'm always just trying new things, and it was terrible. It was like a sparkle fest. I mean, isn't it amazing how good this foundation just did with one pump? But anyway, it was like a sparkle fest on my body and hands, and it just was a big no. So I felt like I had to go over a little bit more with that Laura Geller powder, which is phenomenal. If you don't have it, I'm hoping it's still available. I'll link it below, but it's just the best. Okay, so obviously it's not like full coverage, and I've kind of gone back to, okay, I've been wanting to explain this to you, because if you're like me, you watch people and you feel like, why didn't that work for me? There are two ways to get the look that I like, which is kind of like a daytime glam, but not really cakey and not too dark. And a lot of times something that looks so good on camera really doesn't look good in your day-to-day life. So I'm always trying to find that happy medium, because I don't think it's fair to do this big heavy look for you guys that's not gonna look good in your real life. So, there is I could just put on that Studio Fix NC35. It would probably be a little too heavy. It would probably be a little too dark. And what I would do is I would just put a lot of concealer on and put concealer right here, and lighten it up. And in the end, it would look good, but it would look very heavy in my day-to-day life, which there's nothing wrong with that if you like it, and it would not wear well. Or you can do like I'm going to do today, which is really my favorite. Now you'll say, why do I do this? I get sucked up in it too, and I do the, heavier look sometimes, and sometimes I like it. It's just in my mood. But I used this foundation and did this yesterday just to kind of practice for today, and it just looked so good. So just go with that one pump. Then I take the Studio Fix NC35, which is basically my skin tone. It looks a little bit lighter, but it translates, on my skin. Let's see what brush. I'm going to use one of the BK Beauty brushes, which is a synthetic fiber, and it's not going to pick up as much as a natural hair brush does. But I'm going to use this 104, dab in this, and I'm going to just set this. It's not going to add a lot of powder, a lot of color. It's going to add a little bit more coverage, and it's going to give me a nice area that's not sticky, that it's going to just kind of set it without using like a heavy, loose powder. And because these are synthetic, they're not going to pick up quite as much. and they're going to apply it real even. Okay, and I think that's going to be enough because I'm going to go in with some more powders. And that does look good. I just realized I did not use a primer, but I did have on the Colleen Rothschild Recovery Cream, which is pretty, you know, it's not going to smooth me out, but I was already hydrated. And, you know, so that's, I had planned on using this because I really, really like this a lot. And that's the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. Okay, so the next powder I'm going to use to just start giving me some dimension, a little bit more coverage, and some life, because you can see how dead it is now, is going to be this medium dark mineralized skin finish. I have loved these for so long, and I'm going to use that same brush, get a little bit of it, and I'm going to start where I want to, I hate to say contour, but in the natural contour way of my face. See, like that. See how it's not really a heavy, but it's just going to start bringing some dimension back into my face. And go up under my jawline. If anybody has had that threading, the face threading where they kind of tighten your jawline, leave us a note down below. Let us know how that goes. I don't even know if they do it here where I live, but so many people are getting that done, and it looks so pretty. Okay, see, now that I know kind of what I'm going to get out of this, I can go in a little bit heavier on my cheeks and all the way around. Kind of use what I have left on this brush. And see how that kind of livened up my whole face. If I had not gone in with that Studio Fix powder first, I would have had to really carefully put this on. But since I had already done that, I was able to just, you know, go all around. I didn't have to worry about it getting splotchy. Okay, now we're going to go in with, and also notice that I haven't used a ton of concealer. I haven't used any concealer. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in. This was a limited edition. So the closest thing I would say that you may have to it is maybe your Hoola or something, but it is a very, very neutral, great contour MAC bronzer. It's called Bianan Bronze. And I'm going to get a little bit smaller brush so I can be more precise with this. And so it's the 107, and it's just a little bit more of a small, precise brush. I'm just going to go right at the backs of my cheeks to give me that warmth and a little bit more definition. I know some people don't like to contour during the day, but I do. Okay, and then, so if you don't have this, just use your Hoola. I will let you know if, I don't think MAC has anything like this, but I might take it to the counter and see if they have something similar, like in face powders, like the Studio Fix or something. And I also want to take this and see what color shade they find closest to this, because the problem that I have is I go up to a counter and I say, I want to be shade matched or whatever. Okay, so what they do is they look at me and, you know, I've got on how many layers of things. You know, I don't like to start off with the color that I want to end up being. And so they'll take a little bit off of my chin and then they'll try to match it. Well, of course, it's matching to the rest of my face that has makeup on. So it's just hard. I think for the best color match is to go in without makeup on, or if you already know that you love another foundation and it's similar in coverage, then you could try to match that. That doesn't always work because the coverage makes a difference, the density of it, but that would be my advice. So I want to take this in and see what it matches up to. And I will do the same thing for this because it's really cool. Blush. I have so many good blushes that I love from MAC, and I was torn with this video whether to, sorry, I've got a stray little hair right there. I was torn whether to use one of the new ones or to use one of my old favorites, but I decided I'll just go ahead and use one of the new ones because I really do like them. This one is Cheeky Devil, and I'm actually going to use that same brush, and you can really go into it and just liven up my cheeks a little bit. I'm going to come a little bit closer, further up than I do sometimes, just because I like this color. It's not too over the top, and I'm going to just kind of mix it right in with that, and maybe what's left across my nose, just kind of brighten up my whole face. And I'm going to clean out my brows and kind of, I had a little bit of gloss but not much. Make sure I don't have anything on my lips. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the lips because I think this is my favorite part of this collection. And I brought my MAC Spice lip liner out here. I was thinking that there's just not a woman on the planet that I don't think needs this Spice lip liner. I think no matter what colors you like, no matter how old you are, I think that you would enjoy this. And I just purchased a new pencil sharpener, so I thought we would try it. Because one key, I think, to getting Spice to look the best is to have it really sharpened really well. To really lay it on its side and get a good, you'll see what I mean. I'm not bearing down very hard right now. But see how I'm getting that kind of a wide gradient line? And I'm not overlining, I'm just going on that very outer edge that's kind of like, it's almost white looking, and it's not very pigmented. Like that. And then I can fill in just a little bit right here. And I'm going to kind of work that in. And I want to maybe perfect that line a little bit more. Like that. This is amazing. I love this lipstick. See how I'm kind of going over that lip liner? And then you have to really blend. And one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and put this on is it gets better and better over time. A little bit of that spice is going to go into that lipstick, and it's going to just make this really pretty color. I mean, I like it separate. I kind of wish it would stay a little bit more separate, but that's just the nature of that Spice lip liner. It just does that, especially with a light lipstick, but this is a great combination. Okay, and I did bring, if you must use a gloss, Baby Sparks is what I would use, but I really don't think you need one, but I'm gonna put the slightest bit on there, just because if I did use one, this would be it. Okay, now for eyes. Oh my goodness, you guys. I just love all of my MAC palettes. I've got a lot of them, and a lot of times, even when I'm using another palette, I'll think, gosh, I need a little bit of soft brown, or I need a little bit of, you know, this or that. So I just think all MAC shadows are fabulous. And this is a kind of a good way to try those, or these little palettes like this. So what I'm gonna do first is take my just dry beauty blender, and my favorite primer is just to use a little bit of the Soft Ochre Paint Pot. Don't use too much. If you use too much, it will, like that might have been too much. Your shadows will kind of stick, and I put it on the lower too. Now I'm going to do my brows. One of my favorite shadows ever to do my brows with is this charcoal brown matte. There's just something really good about this color. It's just, the perfect color that is not warm, but it's not gray. It's just good, especially I think blonde. I think any skin tone or hair could use this color. Okay, so I'm going to come right off the top of that, the highest part of my natural brow, and just bring it out, and then go back and just fill it in. And by starting at the end, you're using most of your powder at the end of your brow. Go back in it a little bit more because I'm extending my brow some. So you can see how that kind of just perfects the brow but doesn't add a lot of coverage or anything. It just, I don't know, I just feel like it's such a good color. I kind of wanted this to be a chatty get ready with me. I wanted to kind of talk about what's going on and all kinds of stuff, but I end up talking about my makeup so much. So one thing that's going on is I've joined yet another gym. The one I was going to was like a small 24-hour gym, and it's up on the way to the school, which is great when I am going up that way, but we noticed in the summer we never go that way, so it was kind of inconvenient, and it's very small. If there's a lot of people working out, it's kind of, anyway, you guys know how it is. But they opened a new Planet Fitness, which you probably, I know that's like a chain. So I joined Brooke and I up for that this weekend. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. And you guys know I don't like working out, but I don't mind going and walking on the treadmill, and I love doing arm exercises. I love the machines, and I'm going to meet with a trainer, and they're going to do that thing where they set me up with a routine, so I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I would typically do like clear brow gel, but I didn't bring it out here, but it's not that big of a deal. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use this color, which is new to that collection, which is Bougie Babe, or if I wanted to use one of my other favorites. Every time I wear this, John gives me a compliment, and it was limited edition, and now it's in their collection. So I think I'm going to use this one, and I might just do maybe a little extra with that, but there's just something, this color is so ugly, but it ends up just looking really pretty. It translates well on your eye. I like this type of brush where it's kind of short. It's almost like in between a blender and a pencil, but it's fat, and this is the Sigma E39. And I'm going to start off with this MAC Interrupted, and I'm going to start it, you can see, like right in the center of my crease right here, and then I'm going to start working it out and in and kind of up into the brow. And then after you've got it kind of put down, then you can start swirling it around. And I'm going to swirl mine out like towards the end of my brow like that, and then you can really go and start buffing it in, and it's just going to give you that, just, I don't know, I like it so much better than a really red one, but it still gives you that warmth. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. I'm kind of going light, and then once I get it put down and even, then I can start swirling. And I'm going to swirl it not down but out like that, because as you know, I'm going to do a wing liner, so I don't need to mess with that lash line right now. Okay, and I'm going to do just a little bit along the lower lash line. And meet it up at the corner. And I'm going to get that same color, and I'm going to go along my lash line and just kind of pull up and just get a faint line of this color to come out from under my liner like that, just so it's not like stark white. Okay, and for some reason when I use these, like, I don't know, I like the brown liner with my taupey shades, and but when I use like a color like this, I kind of like the way the black looks with it. And one of my favorite MAC liners is no longer available, and it is Blitz and Blitz. I asked her the other day. I don't know if maybe you can find it, you know, on some different websites or eBay, but all it is just it's a black with a tiny little bit of sparkle in it that you can't detect, but what it does is it keeps it from being so black. And it's just been one of my favorites since my very first MAC store visit. And I'm just going to go in with a liner, my old Sigma liner brush, any liner brush that you like. Load up my brush, just not too thick, not too thin line. I gotta take Bridgie out. Hold on just a second. So I'm gonna I don't really need to smudge this out too much just because it's not gonna be that precise. And then I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, now I'm gonna take that same Q-tip that I used earlier and just kinda rough up the edges a little bit. It is the Brush Black Brush Stroke Liner. It's really cool because it looks like it would be a felt tip, but it's really actual little brush strokes or brush pieces. So I'm gonna go right down by the lashes. Like that. And then I'm going to wing it out like that. Once you get your wing out, then it's a little bit easier to do your wing in. So you just get your shape and then you can fill it in. And I have people say all the time that they love the wing liner but that their eyelids are too wrinkly or whatever. Do it with shadow. If you do your wing liner with just a dark brown or a black shadow, which will still be lighter than, you know, like this, then start doing it that way first, and that's a little bit easier, and it might be the best way for you to do it. Okay, so like that. So I wanted to do, I don't know if any of you watch Vanderpump Rules, but Lala the other night, I watched it, had her more of a skinny wing coming out like that. And I was like, I want to try that again. So let's use that shadow that I just got, and I'm going to take like a brush with one of my Louise Young brushes. Just grab a little bit of this Bougie Babe, and I'm going to come off of that wing and just give it a little bit of accent right there. But you can see why I like to wait until I've done my wing. Okay, and I've already put down so much color. I don't want to put down any more, so I'm going to take a clean brush. This is a MAC 222. It's an old brush. And I'm going to just blend that out. Like that. Colors in here. Let's see, one of these that I've hit pan on. This is Blanc type. I'm going to just kind of soften that top up a little bit. If you go up too far, just take like a matte cream color and soften that up. And I'm gonna leave my lid like it is. I kind of like it when there's nothing there and it's kind of messy. Like I don't want to put, like I see people do the cut crease and that's just a different look. I like it when it's kind of just worn in looking right there. Okay, now I'm going to use that mascara that I got that I have been loving. Comes off nicely. It doesn't, you know, transfer. I really like it. It is the Extra Dimension, and I'm going to put that on real quick and then we'll try these new lashes. Okay, so I'm going to just stop there because if you go too far then you just end up with like 3 eyelashes. Okay, I'm excited about these eyelashes from MAC. I would not, I mean, now there are so many good just Ardell and Kiss lashes that I just don't think it's, goodness, I don't think it's really, what have they got these glued in? I don't think it's necessary to spend a lot of money on lashes unless Okay, let me figure out what's going on. Yes, you just find some, like those star lashes that I like, and there's House of Lashes, the Iconic Light. They're just special. They just seem to fit my eye. Once you find something like that, then I would say it's worth it, but just, I mean, like, I'm sure that there's something very, very similar to this, but I just wanted to try them. And I'm gonna kind of set them here. I don't want them going in too far, and then I can see how much I want to cut off. Looks like I'm gonna cut off about two big clumps and 2 little ones. One thing good about MAC lashes is you can use the case for Back to MAC. That would be my only little bit of reasoning for spending that money. And while we're letting that dry a little bit, I have tried so many concealers of MAC in the past, but I've just never found one that I loved. The only thing I have really, you know, purchased over and over is the Prep and Prime like highlighters. I've got the Light Boost and the Prep and Prime Radiant Rose. A lot of times what I'll do at the end like this is I will click some out, put it on the back of my hand, and, you know, kind of do it like this, and then go right in here to brighten up a little bit. And notice that I do it at the end. Let me put a little bit more. Okay, there's not much on here, so I can do like this right now. That was still too much. Okay, I'm gonna wipe some off. Okay. But you just want to get a very, very thin layer. Almost still see-through, but it's still brightening. Like that. But I'll tell you guys, one of my just all-time favorite concealers, I used it yesterday, I just brought it out, is this Maybelline. So I'm going to show you what this looks like over this, because that looks really pretty too, because this is brightening. And then this, the number 30 Light Medium, keeps it from looking like too bright. So I just put 1 drop, and then I kind of get it blended in, take it on my finger, and because this isn't too heavy or too bright or too much coverage, see how it just kind of blends right into the rest of my makeup? I'll take what's left and go around my nose and kind of in these lines right here, like that. And then you can always go just do it like that. Be thin and bendable, so I don't think I need to worry too much. And I cut plenty off, so I think they're gonna be pretty easy to put on. So I'll go right down to the lash line. Hate it when that happens. Start this again. Okay, and I felt that touch. I felt that touch, I think. Someone said you could find this at Sally's. That's probably where I got it. What's wrong, Chanel? What's wrong? I'm gonna get your food, I promise. I will not come home without that food. I think I'm going to put a little mascara on these lashes today. I haven't done that in a long time, but since these aren't too thick, I thought I would go for it. And just kind of touch the lashes like that. Hey, baby. Hey. Hey. You gonna come see me? Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff here. You can't get over here. Okay, guys. So, what do you think? Just a very natural, I say natural, but just not a lot of heavy powders, not a lot of heavy concealers. One of my favorite looks. And I did, in case, in like my day-to-day, I wouldn't really, you know, this a little bit of shine wouldn't matter to me, but if it does, this is a great powder to just go in with any brush. This is a Chikuhodo, and you can just hit these spots like that that you feel like maybe a little too shiny. And you also could, I love the MAC Fix Plus. My favorite is the lavender just because of the scent, but you could do that if you wanted to give it even more glow. But I just like it. It's very, very just natural. Like, you can still see my skin through it, and I just think it's a good look. I have on just my yoga pants and this tank top because I'm hoping I'm going to go just at least go walk on the treadmill or something today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.